Morning, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all are doing okay today. So, I am in a 2020 Cadillac XT4 and figured I'd give y'all a review and a quick explanation. So, about 3 weeks ago now, I guess, I hit a coyote in my Focus going to work on the interstate. He ran out in front of me while I was doing about 70 miles an hour and tore up a lot of the front bumper covers and all that. Got the radiator, intercooler, washer fluid reservoir, things like that. Oh, come on, dude. We really doing 40? I got places to go. Bye. Now, when I set everything up with the rental car company through my insurance to get the rental, I told them, I'd really prefer a Ford, and due to the amount of miles that I drive, I'd like whatever you've got that's got the best fuel mileage. That's what I asked for. I get a Cadillac, a SUV. CUV, whatever. All that said, it's all-wheel drive, has a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4 and a 9-speed automatic transmission. It's not as bad on fuel as I was expecting. And boy, is it comfortable. It's the only option it doesn't have is climate controlled seats, best I can work out, and it is very comfortable. It gets between 28 and 30 miles a gallon, me driving it, going back and forth to work. I run about 110 miles a day. The majority of that drive is on 55 mile an hour roads, with the last 15 or so miles being on interstate at interstate speed if the traffic will allow it. But I've just been, it makes me want to actually get a Ford Escape or a Lincoln MKC. The biggest thing I like about it is the step out, step in height. So I am 6'4", and my vehicles that I drive places aside from my work truck are either a 04 Mustang or a 2018 Focus, and so I'm always getting down in or getting up out of those cars. And I really like just, you swivel, you put your legs out and you kind of stand up. You're not way down on the ground. I really like just the ride height and the entry exit height of this thing. So I definitely wouldn't mind something that sat up a little taller for my next vehicle. It's pretty comfortable. Also, the ride on this, even on a Ford guy, is good. My complaint about it, as far as I can tell, the adaptive cruise control either believes everybody should tailgate ferociously or just doesn't work. Because I'm not a big tailgater, but I was trying to see if the adaptive cruise control worked, and I couldn't get it to slow me down getting pretty close to someone, set as far out as it would go. So, not a big fan of that. Also, and this is just it's one of those things that wouldn't bother most people, but because of who I am as a human, it bothers me. So, the 9-speed automatic transmission has selectable gears, little paddles on the steering wheel. And I had this complaint. I had a 10-speed F-150 one time too, as a loaner. The thing I don't like about them is my Focus has 6 gears, and you can, user select whatever gear you want. And with that, when you bump a gear, you have a significant increase or decrease in engine RPM at a given speed. With this, and also with the F-150 with the 10-speed, whenever you would, I'd select shift to go down a hill, as an example, and you drop 2 gears, you think, okay, that'll shoot the engine up a little bit, give me some engine braking. No. You got to sit there and hit the control several times to get enough engine speed to give you any significant amount of engine braking. And so you got to drop 2, 3, 4 gears, depending on where you're at, to get any engine braking. This thing will run in 6th gear at like 40. But on the flip side of that, it's got enough gears that right now I'm running 60 miles an hour, and it just shifted out of 9th, but it was spinning 1500 RPMs. So, it's got a lot of gear in it to help your fuel mileage out, but it's tough to select shift, because if you're needing a lower gear, you're having to go 2 or 3 lower than you'd expect. So those are my complaints. I like a lot of things about it. Another thing I think I'd like my next car to have would be the push button start, because I like all the other convenience features that come with that. I like being able to just walk up to the car and push the button on the door, and the doors unlock. I like the remote start because it's been pretty hot out these past few days, and even if it's not cool, I can have it cooling off, so it's not brutally hot when I go to get in the car. There's just some features that I like about it that are, commonplace on enough vehicles. But it's been comfortable. I've been enjoying it. I did have a misadventure the other day. So I was scrolling through, because I got to play with all the buttons, the menus on the dash, and one of them's a tire pressure menu, and one of the tires was low, so I'm like, well, I'll put some air in it, just kind of, probably the oil change tech didn't air the tires up right or something, was kind of my thought. Put some air in it. A couple days later, it's back down where it was. I got a leak. I called to Enterprise, the rental agency that I always do business with, and told them, hey, I really don't want to come back over there and get swapped out of this car into something else. I kind of like what I'm driving right now. But is there any way I can get this fixed? They said, oh, there's a national franchise that you can take it to. Any one of them, tell them it's an Enterprise car, and they'll get you squared away. That'd be great. So I call this company and managed to get it set up where I dropped the thing off going into work the other day. There's one right down the street from where I work, and I got a ride out there after my shift. Turns out something, and it was doing it, either I picked it up right after I picked the car up, or it had been punctured by the previous renter. Something punctured a tire in the sidewall, and so they had to put a tire on this thing. So, but yeah, been enjoying the car. Nice, solid, comfortable, quiet ride. Surprisingly quick for an all-wheel drive 2-liter SUV. Surprisingly quick. I'm trying to get every MPG out of it that I can. Like I said, I just reset my fuel mileage 15 miles ago when I filled up, and I'm almost at 30 miles a gallon on the trip. And if you bear with me just a second here, I'm at over 30 miles a gallon on the last 50 mile average. So yeah, it's fuel friendly for sure for, you know, a smaller SUV, but it will move when you need it to. So that's what I got on this one, folks. Cadillac XT4 2020. I'm a Ford guy, but this is a good show up from a GM. I'll give them that. Thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next time.